Good day and welcome to this episode of Focus On with me, Yamahitsa Musabili. The Angola Oil and Gas Conference 2024 came to a close recently in Luanda. The conference gathered industry leaders and African governments to tackle some of the most pressing issues in the oil and gas sector, more specifically challenges in the upstream and downstream explorations of what is needed from African governments as well as the private sector to fight ongoing energy poverty. CNBC Africa's Fifi Peters spoke to some of the key stakeholders to find out more.
Thank you so much for your time. We are told that this is a very important conference for Angola's oil and gas industry. Perhaps maybe we start with your reflections. It's day 2 on how things have gone so far, sir.
I want to say that this is the 5th conference that we are having here in Angola of this kind, and I believe that is one of the best that we are having. This time we're having here most of the main players in the oil and gas industry operating in Angola, and the subject that we're taking and talking about is very, very important because we're talking about oil and gas exploration and the production potential. So these kind of events we supposed to continue are very important, and we believe that with this one we will be able to attract more and more investors.
I think it's you who coined the term drill baby drill at this conference, of which many of your colleagues have been repeating. So let's just talk about your anticipations of what that means in terms of new license awarding and in terms of drilling exploration activity that you are anticipating to see.
I believe that with this sentence of increasing the drill activity in Angola, I think that more and more entities will be able to see how we can reduce the decline in production in Angola. We are currently producing about 200,000 barrels a day. Our own equity, of course, Angola is producing 1.1 million barrels a day. And with that kind of opportunities of drill, baby, drill, we believe that with responsibility, with sustainability, without losing the fact that the climate change is a fact and we have to take care of it, we have to drill and make sure that whatever we bring back in production can be in a sustainable way. That's what we are doing, and also helps to bring funds to invest into the sustainability areas. That's what we have to do, and we encourage that. All our partners are aware of it. Sustainability is a key word. Production is another key word in order to bring funds to support all our activities.
Yeah, well, this is the 5th edition of this oil and gas conference in Angola, and I think it's becoming a bit of a regional event. You know, we can see ministers from other countries taking part as well. And I think, Angola has been very clear. I think, we heard it from the minister, we heard it from the president. They want to keep their oil production at above 1 million barrels per day. So they're putting in place, the regulatory, the fiscal frameworks that they need to achieve that objective, to encourage more investment. And I think by some of the things that we've seen today from ourselves and from other companies, we can see that that's having an impact. But I think at the same time as well, it was interesting to hear again from both the minister and the president about the importance of sustainability in producing oil. I mean, within Total Energies, we say we need to produce oil and gas differently to reduce our emissions. So I think that was something that really struck me this morning, that would seem to be perfectly in line with the speech from both the minister and from the president.
Interesting that you do bring up the topic of sustainability, just given the fact that I think the whole world is realizing that socks need to be pulled up as we head to the 2030 target of achieving some of the sustainable development goals which are in question. But I think that companies specifically are also aware of the operating environment right now and some of the hindrances that are perhaps inhibiting them from moving a lot faster. Just your plans as Total in this environment right now regarding your sustainability targets and what that looks like.
I think about Angola, for example, with Angola between 2015 and today, we've reduced by 4 times the flaring on our facilities. And in the meantime, we've added 2 additional FPSOs. So we've gone from 4 FPSOs to 6 FPSOs, but at the same time, we've reduced our overall flaring by 4. So we do that by, being really strict on our flaring policies, when we flare. And secondly, more importantly, we're installing what we call closed flares on all of our facilities. So it's zero flaring. I mean, it's zero flaring except when there's a process upset. So I think these are the sorts of things that we can do. And then I think maybe vis-a-vis communities as well. I mean, I think there's been a bit of a buzz today about one of the programs that the affiliate has put in place, called, this year is the 100th anniversary of Total Energies. And one of the initiatives that a local affiliate has put in place is what they call 100 years, 100 entrepreneurs, where they're trying to put together programs to assist 100 Angolan entrepreneurs to put together their new business plans and new programs. And so far, they've had over 3,000 applications for this program from all the different provinces of the country. So I think that's another good example of practical steps that we can take to try and help sustainability, both from a climate perspective and also from a community perspective.
James, just with your interactions with all the stakeholders in the value chain, as it were, from the producers and the companies with the opportunity to the financiers who are looking to find an opportunity, what are some of the sentiments regarding why capital is not meeting some of those opportunities as greatly as perhaps it can, as to why perhaps certain capital is still sitting on the fence right now?
There's certainly a global challenge in terms of getting projects funded, oil and gas projects, and oil and gas projects specifically in Africa. That's, again, why we want to bring people here to show them how great the opportunities are and to help people understand the risk profile of the country. So Angola is a particularly interesting place. The policies, the regulatory regime is very solid. You do have a very, very strong Sonangol, the NOC, as a partner, and you have a very strong concessionaire. And everything is packaged together in a very appealing way for investors. So the challenge that Africa faces and the oil and gas sector faces is being addressed in Angola by having that strong and stable system in place. Beyond that, looking forward, Angola is a place where there's a lot of deep water activity, ultra deep water. The risk has to be mitigated for that. It's very, very expensive. So, of course, it's always going to be challenging to make those projects happen. However, we see that those projects are moving ahead. The IOCs, through this conference, are showing massive commitment to this country. And again, that goes back to the stability and the strength of the system. So getting that commitment, I think Angola is now positioned to move forward and get past those challenges that Africa is facing.
As a journalist, it has been so fascinating to see the convergence of the powers of the global south, as it were, doing a lot more business with one another, and particularly in the recent years. But perhaps let us begin with the fact that this is your first time at the Angola Oil and Gas Conference. And what brings you to town, sir?
I'd also thank you so much for giving me the opportunity in this interview. Well, I mean, this is one of the most important sectors in Angola and in the region as well. It is an attraction point for us, and it's an opportunity to show our case as a project in Angola. We are here since a long time, back and forth, but because recently, last July, we integrated our project, Dubai Investment Park Angola, and it was a good opportunity to, participate in this very promising exhibition, which we are planning to be here in all coming years.
So let's talk about your project then. If you can just maybe give us the details, the makeup of what it's going to look like, and ultimately, of course, what it will cost, sir.
Okay. Well, we are replicating state-of-the-art, city within a city, a self-contained project in Baradudanta, in a surface of 2,000 hectares, to be a platform for all the industries light, medium, and also all other developers of residential and commercial to set up their businesses there. Of course, we are providing this project fully equipped with the infrastructure, i.e. roads, telecommunication, fiber optics, water and electricity, treated water as well. So we are creating the full infrastructure with the long-term relations with the investors who would like to buy properties or lease properties from us. And will have a major impact on the job opportunities. Investments will be attracted domestically and internationally.
Understanding the local content in the oil and gas industry right now is very, very low, and the government is trying to increase that target. But what are your thoughts on how the government is trying to do it? And is there any risk of a pushback from some of the majors regarding this regulation?
No, I don't know. Talking about ourselves, we don't see it that way. We see on the way, on a different way. We see that this is a kind of opportunity for Angolan companies to be present. Government, with the regulators, with the institutions that is appointed for this responsibility, they've been doing their job of promoting Angolans to be present on those local content, providing services to the measures.
Sure.
So we, as an Angolan companies, that we need to be in compliance, need to follow rules. I mean, there's rules, there's a lot of procedures that we need to follow. I think local content is not about you start camping tomorrow and I must give you a contract. No. Sure. There's a way to get there.
Okay.
So on my personal opinion, I see government is doing quite well on that. Okay. Obviously, there's still more to be done. But so far, they did very well. I mean, this conference is one of them. It's not about only promoting the government, but it's promoting also the local content companies also to be, there's a chance to interact one-on-one, B2B,
sure.
to see where they can fit, what can be done.
And that's how we wrap up this episode of Focus On with myself and the CNBC Africa team, as well as Fifi and the team from Angola. Until next time, it's goodbye.